Let's go to the US now, where a judge is weighing a request from authorities in Minnesota to halt a surge of federal immigration officers to Minneapolis after a second US citizen was killed. Donald Trump is also sending a top immigration official to the city. Rachel Clayton has been following this story for us. Good morning, Rachel. What's the latest there?
Morning, Bridget. While a lot is happening here in the US, but there does seem to be signs of cooperation emerging between state and federal officials, and a bit of a change of tone from the federal administration when it comes to what's going on in Minnesota. As you said, there was a court case that was heard this morning. A federal judge heard arguments from the state and from federal lawyers. The state is trying to get that judge to agree to kick out ICE from the state. They say that the immigration enforcement operation has impeded on the state's sovereignty and violated the 10th Amendment. The federal government says that it has the final say on what happens with federal officers and doesn't believe that there's any grounds for ICE to be kicked out. The judge did question whether or not she was the correct person to be making this decision, saying she's essentially going to be ruling on who is right here, the state or the federal government. She has not ruled yet, has not made a decision, but said that she's going to try and come to one as quick as she can. We also heard from Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt just a short while ago. She doubled down on protesters and demonstrators being hostile towards ICE enforcers and Border Patrol agents in Minneapolis. Take a listen to what she had to say.
It is President Trump's hope and wish and demand for the resistance and chaos to end today. That's why President Trump spoke with Governor Walz directly this morning.
We did hear from President Trump in a Truth Social post about that talk, and that's kind of where we're getting this shift in tone from the Trump administration. He said in that post that he'd had a very good conversation with the governor, and then that was backed up by Governor Walz, who said that the conversation was productive and that the two sides are working on how they can come to some sort of agreement where the state does help federal agents with their immigration enforcement when it comes to apprehending illegal criminals. If that does happen, then President Trump has signalled that there might be a pulling back of agents in the state. We also know that President Trump has announced that his border czar, his name's Tom Homan, he will be going to Minnesota. He's sort of already on his way, I believe, and will be taking over ICE operations there from those who are in charge. So there are signs here that things might be starting to calm down when it comes to the friction that we've seen between federal officers and those state leaders.